Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and joining me today, of course, is my wonderful teaching assistant, who I assume that you all know as Mr. Curtis. At least that's what he tells me his name is. So say hello to everybody, Mr. Curtis.
Well, thank you, Professor. I'm here, and I'm excited to get along with class and to really bring my A game today.
Oh, interesting. So we're gonna instead. What game do you normally bring? Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, I always try to bring my A game. Mm-hmm. There's always an attempt for 100%, but today I'm really feeling that I can really keep that 100% going.
This is the one where we get it.
This is it.
So the last 25 weeks you haven't been bringing your A game, but today's the day.
Well, no, he brings it. He brings it every time. He just loses it along the way. Like a
right,
little bit slips out of his pocket or something.
You gotta keep
Professor knows, and he would be the one to know because he's the professor.
I know everything. So. Well, okay, and I also know that a student or a class would be nothing without its students. So I guess I have one here today. His name is I know it.
It's Corbin. Professor's Corbin. It's Corbin.
Bobrin. Bobrin?
Yes.
No.
Corbin.
Corbin? That's a made up name.
Do you have like some degenerative brain disorder? You've known my name, and then suddenly the last 2 weeks you're forgetting it? I don't understand. I don't get it. You know it.
Listen, we talked about this. I'm the one that, has to record everything and take attendance. Professor is way too busy to learn everybody's name.
Yeah, he's already learned it.
I can't possibly learn every student's name, Bobrin. That would be ridiculous.
I am the only student here. You act like we've never met before. Are we like reversing time? Is this like a Dialga Palkia thing where they're just like fucking with time and I'm the only one that sees it? How are you forgetting my name? Like, are we going backwards? Like the last lesson of this entire class is gonna be the first time that we meet, huh? What is happening?
It's a real Benjamin Button scenario we have going on here.
Right, pretty much.
I love that movie. Anyways, we're not here to talk about movies. We're not here to talk about whether or not I remember all of my students' names, which is a crazy thing to expect your professor to do.
There's one. It's me.
Yeah, it's you, Bobrin. I know.
No!
And of course, all of the thousands of them that do join us online.
Yeah, are we in the thousands yet, Mr. Curtis? I haven't been checking those.
I mean, thousands of them have signed up.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Our weekly numbers do fluctuate from time to time, but. I mean,
hey,
we're getting the money from 1,000 students. They've signed up and been paid.
And that's what matters. So. That's what matters. Wait, hold on. Mr. Curtis, if Professor Jacob is really bad at remembering things and he doesn't always remember my name, that means he doesn't remember the fact that he doesn't want to give me a Pokemon at the end of each lesson. So if I ask for whatever Pokemon we're talking about today at the end of the lesson, maybe he'll give it to me, okay? Just go with it.
You know what?
Go with it.
You know what? You might be right there.
You're right.
But good luck. That's all I have to say.
Hey, Professor, whatever Pokemon we talked about today, you said last lesson that I get to keep it this class. Remember?
That's a lie because I've never talked to you before in my life.
That's rude.
So now I know that you're a liar, and I can never trust anything that you ever say to me.
What? Is this an imposter? Yep. Who is this man? Who is he?
Oh, that is our good Professor Jacob.
Yeah, Jesus.
He's acting weird.
Maybe you haven't been to all these classes if you don't even know who I am.
No, I think something's going on. I think something fishy here. You know what? I said last week that I didn't trust that Ryan guy from Team Rocket. I think he switched you out with someone from Team Rocket. And I think they're wearing Professor Jacob's skin, or they got some sort of cloning device to get somebody to look like him who's posing in front of the class, who's just going to take every Pokemon that we subsequently talk about. I think that's what's going on. I figured it out. Put me on the case.
Which is more believable? Which is more believable? That Team Rocket has kidnapped me, cloned me, or replaced my skin, I think is something that you said in there.
Yeah, and I was about to ask, did you say someone's wearing his skin?
Yes.
Maybe.
Someone's cloning him?
I don't know. Maybe.
So, which is more likely, that or the fact that I don't find you interesting enough to remember your name every week?
I definitely think the cloning thing sounds a lot more realistic.
Whatever you need for your self-esteem. But no, none of this is important. It doesn't matter if I remember your name. It doesn't matter if I'm a Team Rocket member or not. What does matter is what Pokemon we are learning about today, because that is why we are all here in this classroom. Can either of you guys tell me what Pokemon that is?
Doesn't matter because I get to keep it regardless. That's what you told me before, right?
You don't know what it is, and you still want to keep it?
Yeah.
See, that's a bad trainer. That's a bad trainer, everybody.
No, that's
Doesn't
a sign
even
of a
know what
good
the
trainer. That
Pokemon
means
is.
regardless of whatever
It's,
Pokemon I will get, I will train it to the best of my ability. That means I'm a good trainer. You're going to give me this Pokemon at the end of class like you did for Ryan last week. So you're going to give it to me.
I'm pretty sure it's Chunky Chew this week.
Chunky Chew.
Chunky Chew.
No, we learned
Chunky
about Pikachu last week, who I believe is Chunky Chew. Because I believe we had an entry that says that it was a short, chubby rodent.
So aggressively.
No, but we're learning about the evolved form of Pikachu, which is, of course...
Riot U.
Yeah, that's the university that's the university that I went to.
Riot U. They didn't get anything done. It was just riots the whole time.
Crazy parties all the time. Close enough. We're learning about Raichu, which, as I said before, is the evolved form of Pikachu. So, you know, Pikachus are extremely rare, but Raichus are even more rare. But I did give away my Pikachu last week, you may remember, but I was able to get another one, and I did find a Thunderstone.
Give me this one! Give me this
one!
one!
See, you want it too much. If you can show me that you've earned it, maybe I can give it to you.
How did Ryan show you he earned it? I have been a good student for like 25 weeks, okay? I've been good.
I'm sorry, what does this plaque on my desk say? My name tag? What does that thing say?
Professor.
That would be the number one professor mug I gave you.
No, right next to that, actually.
The paper mache model of your face I made?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, clearly. No, it's this name tag that says Professor Jacob. I'm the professor. I make the rules. I decide who or who does not get the Pokemon, all right?
Fine.
All right. So I do have a Raichu here with me today. I'm going to throw him out of the Pokeball, all right? So you can all get a good look at him, okay?
Let's see.
Like we've done so many times before, and it's never gone wrong.
Whoa! What's up there? Whoa, what's up, Sparky little man? What's up? He's a little bit bigger than Pikachu. Not much.
Actually, this is small. This is a female Raichu.
Oh, excuse me. She is still a little tiny, but a little bit bigger than Pikachu.
Damn. Oh, much bigger, yes.
But still short and chubby.
Okay, so like we did before, can you guys just tell me anything that you notice about Raichu, anything interesting, anything that stands out or differentiates it from the Pikachu that we saw last week?
Well,
I do like the squiggles in her ear.
Yes, the Raichu definitely has more, I don't know, fanciful ears than Pikachu does. More intricate.
Nice choice of words.
Thanks.
I noticed that she has, two things that really stick out to me.
Okay.
Her sacks are no longer red. The sacks are yellow, which is weird.
I was thinking about that.
Yes, true. I'm glad that you remember that Pikachu's, they're called pouches, really. They're not really called sacks. Sometimes they're called cheek sacks, but normally it's pouches. Pikachu's pouches are red. Raichu's have yellow pouches, and they're a little bit larger on their face.
Well, I am noticing one huge glaring issue that I think is an evolutionary problem with Raichu.
Oh, an issue. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck are his fingers? She doesn't have fingers. They're just nubs. What happened? Notice that?
I suppose they evolved to the point where they don't need fingers?
I guess this Raichu, look, I'm sorry, Raichu, but it looks like you devolved a little bit. It looks like your hands got chopped off and you dipped your nubs in some chocolate, and then that's where you're at.
Or maybe that's like the brown fur is like thicker fur, and its fingers are underneath that fur.
Dude, I don't know. Look, you're the professor. We're gonna read the entries and find out, I guess.
Well, try to grab its hand, see what happens.
I don't want to. I saw what happened to Ryan last week.
Keep him right over there.
I'm good, buddy.
Just give it a try.
No offense.
Maybe tug on one of those cheek pouches.
I think I'm okay. You're very sweet. You're very cute, little Sparky Raichu, but I'm good. I'm gonna hold off now, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put her back into the Pokeball.
All right. Bye.
All right, so let's learn a thing or two about Raichu and what makes it tick. So of course we're gonna start off in the Kanto region because that's where everybody starts off their journey. Every real trainer.
Exactly.
Maybe one day I will.
OG. Okay. So the first one here says, its long tail serves as a ground to protect itself from its own high voltage power.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's the thing that we didn't mention when we were looking at it earlier. Raichus have a much longer and kind of thinner tail. So the base of the tail is thin and it's long, and then at the end it kind of turns into a lightning bolt kind of shape.
Yeah, it's like the most of its tail's like a wire.
Yes. Yeah.
So I found it interesting because Pikachu, we talked about, stuck its tail in the air a lot to monitor its surroundings.
Yes.
And in doing so was struck by lightning a lot.
Uh-huh.
But now we're learning that Raichu actually uses its tail as a ground, which is different.
To protect itself from its own high voltage power. I'm not entirely sure how that works out, because you'll notice that when a Raichu shoots out lightning, it comes from the whole thing, right? It doesn't just come from that tail. And we'll know that it's from the other Pokédex entries that it stores that electric power in its body and not just in its tail. So I don't really know how it's protecting itself from that voltage. It's not like it's getting the voltage from somewhere else and diverting it. It's still storing it in its body.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but whatever.
Okay.
About the professor.
Regardless, listen, Professor Oak has told us that its long tail serves as a ground to protect itself from its own high voltage. So you know what? We're gonna go with it. We're just gonna blindly follow.
That's right.
All right. The next Pokédex entry here says, when electricity builds up inside its body, it becomes feisty. It also glows in the dark.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you ever don't have a lantern near you or a torch, just find a nearby stick, stick your Raichu on it, just stick it up its butt, and then just hold it around and go through the caves.
I've been told by the principal here that I need to start doing more disclaimers for these lessons. Disclaimer: do not do that or anything Corbin says.
What?
That's right.
Regarding any Pokemon ever. Yeah.
Raichu might be a good candidate for Flash.
Yeah, but again, it glows in the dark when it has a bunch of pent-up electricity, which we'll learn is not a good thing going forward. So let me just read some more entries here. The last one from the Kanto region says, its electrical attack may reach 10,000 volts. It discharges electricity from its tail, so it is not harmed by its own power. So, okay, I guess I was wrong before saying it discharges it from its whole body. This entry is saying that it discharges it from its tail specifically.
So did Pikachu only discharge stuff from its cheeks? Or...
I mean, I've seen it. When we saw it shock Ryan, the lightning kind of, envelops its whole body, at least from what I could see. Mm-hmm. So
right. So does it not do that for Raichu? I mean, we could bring Ryan back to have Raichu shock him, but I don't... Mr. Curtis, where is he? Didn't he sign up for the full package? Where the hell is Ryan?
Yeah, that's weird. I do have another student should be attending this lesson.
Yeah. He just showed up for one class and he dipped out.
Yeah, you know that I did get a message from him. He had to run some errands before class today, and it got held up.
Well, that's fine. I mean, honestly,
at the store, so he couldn't come to class.
He learned so much. I mean, he could practically teach the class right at this point. He's such a smart, bright individual. He doesn't even really need to come to any more lessons.
That's right.
So
it doesn't mean he doesn't have to pay for it.
What?
He already paid for it all. So, another point on the fact that Pikachu can discharge electricity from its whole body. I don't think it reaches the voltage that a Raichu can. So I think it doesn't need to protect itself as much as a Raichu needs to.
Okay.
Because we've seen it can reach 10,000 volts, but we'll see that is a very low estimate as we're going forward. All right, so on to the next region, which is the Johto region. When its electricity builds, its muscles are stimulated, and it becomes more aggressive than usual.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't really want it to get to the point where it's glowing in the dark, right? Because then it's going to be feisty and aggressive.
Looks cool, but yeah, very deadly.
You said?
Feisty, yes, that's what we said in the Kanto region. Is what happens.
So feisty and aggressive and glows in the dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. If the electric pouches in its cheeks become fully charged, both ears will stand straight up.
Ooh. Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right. This next one's interesting. If its electric pouches run empty, it raises its tail to gather electricity from the atmosphere.
Well, that's kind of what Pikachu does too, though. So that makes sense, right?
Well, Pikachu was doing it more to monitor his surroundings, and he ended up getting shocked.
Yeah. Right.
I can't remember if it mentions that Pikachu collects energy in that way. I think it said that Pikachu collects electricity when it sleeps. I think this is a little
Mm-hmm.
from
bit
other Pikachus.
yes. When they meet, they do touch tails and exchange electricity.
Right. Kind of like how me and Curtis touch butts when we see each other. We've established this already.
I've been meaning to talk to you guys about stopping doing that.
You cannot control what we do.
That's a special between
before and after
Corbin
class.
I.
You can't
And
control
I really hate that, like, right before you do it, you just pull down your pants and yell cheek kiss, and I just wish you would stop if you could.
Yeah. I mean, just whatever. I mean, you have to get over it, man. This is how it is.
That's right.
If you want me to stop, you're going to have to give me a Pokemon after class.
Or join our cheek kiss parade.
Cheek kiss parade.
Cheek kiss parade. I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna ask. Instead, I'm gonna move on to the Hoenn region.
Okay.
If the electrical sacs become excessively charged, Raichu plants its tail in the ground and discharges. Scorched patches of ground will be found near this Pokemon's nest.
Wait, it sticks its fucking tail in the ground. Does what now?
Discharges the electricity.
Discharges the excess energy.
Oh, when it's like when it's built up and it's like trying to get a release.
Yeah. If the electrical sacs become excessively charged.
So when Pikachu has sacs that are backed up, it puts its tail in the ground to release. Okay.
No, Raichu.
Raichu, excuse me.
Raichu, not Pikachu.
Right. So make sure your trainers make sure your Raichu gets a release before when its sacs are filled up.
Okay. Yes. Do that, I suppose. The next one here says this Pokemon exudes a weak electrical charge from all over its body that makes it take on a slight glow in darkness. I don't know why I had such a hard time reading that.
Okay.
Late night, Professor.
I guess. Raichu searches for electricity by planting its tail in the ground.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So another reason to put the tail in the ground.
So there's two reasons there.
So discharge, excess electricity, and
And absorb.
No.
search
for electricity.
So I'm not quite.
It sticks its tail in the air to absorb energy from the atmosphere.
Wouldn't it make more sense to keep its tail up to like absorb electricity? Why put it in the ground?
No, it's not absorbing electricity when it puts it in the ground. It's searching for electricity.
But why wouldn't you? But why would you do that? Electricity doesn't really travel through the ground, does it? I mean, wouldn't you just point it up in the
all
air?
electricity is trying to get to ground, right?
I guess, yeah, because there's like, isn't it like a positive charge or something in like the sky and like the opposite charge on the ground, and that's why it's trying. That's how lightning bolts work or something. I don't know.
Excess negative charge in the atmosphere.
Yes, when there's a large enough potential, right? The difference between the voltages or the differences between the charge level, I don't know, fucking more negative, more positive, the higher the potential, the more likely it's gonna jump between any kind of medium, whether that's air or ground. Then yes, listen, I'm not a fucking physicist, okay? I'm a Pokemon biologist.
Okay, well, hardly, but you know.
Jeez, wait, whoa. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Do you not see the diplomas that I have up here on my wall behind me?
I mean, yeah, I see them, but that doesn't mean anything to me.
It means that I have earned the title of Professor of Pokemon, which is the highest title in the land.
I mean, it's not because you're not a doctorate. So, I mean, does it really matter? You know?
Well, I have a master's degree, and I think that's, enough. I think, listen, there's a lot of work
enough.
goes into
Wow,
getting a master's
is that what your
degree.
parents told you growing up
also
to be enough, not to excel, but just stop when it's enough? Is that what they told you? Huh?
Hey,
No, but I can tell you what your mom tells me every night.
What?
That third diploma I gave him. That one's for being.
For what?
It's for being the professor of my heart.
That's really sweet, Mr. Curtis.
God, gross.
Yep.
But he doesn't appreciate
I signed
you.
it in crayon.
He doesn't appreciate you. We know this. He uses you so you can do all the work and he can just chill out scot-free. You know what? Take a vacation to Alola. Kick your feet up.
Hey, isn't that also what we do with Pokemon? We just use them as tools.
No, they're your friends.
Curtis,
they're your
Mr.
companions.
Curtis, you're just as good as a Pokemon. Hey.
Hey,
right.
am I a good Pokemon?
Some people use them
a
as
Spinarak?
tools, and that's the problem. They're supposed to be friends and companions. So you know what? I know more about Pokemon bonds than you.
See, I was
That's
like you.
why I deserve to be a trainer. And that's why I think
like
you should
you when I
sign
was
off
younger.
and give me my authorization to be a trainer and go out on my journey.
Please stop pounding on your desk. You're gonna break it.
Sorry, I'm too strong.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, please, you're too strong for your own good. All that 10-year-old rage is building up inside you.
I'm a Raichu. I'm gonna start glowing in the dark.
You may have to stick your butt in the ground and discharge some of that energy.
Yeah, have a big old discharge right into the ground if you could.
Yeah. Like every time I have tacos, I usually discharge into the ground. I usually put my butt in the ground and discharge.
Oh, I have a hot discharge coming. Get out of the way. Okay, another one here from the Hoenn region. It says...
I just go right back into the Pokedex like nothing. Like we didn't just talk about shit.
Oh, I tried to. I
just love the easy segue. All right,
Hoenn region. If it stores too much electricity, its behavior turns aggressive. To avoid this, it occasionally discharges excess energy and calms itself down. Okay. One more here from the Hoenn region. This one's very interesting. It says its electric charge can reach even 100,000 volts.
Wow.
Okay.
Ooh.
Before we said 10,000 volts, but now the Hoenn region has brought more information to us, and they say it's 100,000 volts.
Damn.
Goes on to say, careless contact can cause even an Indian elephant to faint. Now,
What?
Now, I don't know what an elephant is, and I also don't know what it means by Indian.
Wait, that's just so random. Can you say that again? What?
Okay, so its electric charge can reach even 100,000 volts. Careless contact can cause even an Indian elephant to faint. Now, maybe...
That's so random.
Maybe there's a region called India that has a Pokemon called elephants that we haven't really, made contact with yet.
Maybe it's a typo. Maybe they made a Caparaja from Galar or something. I don't know.
I mean, that's a pretty major typo.
Makes them a few words
I
there.
typed a completely wrong word.
I typed in elephant instead of Caparaja. Whoops.
And Indian instead of Galar.
Yeah, I think at least a Q-Fant might be a more appropriate.
What is a
typo there,
Q-Fant?
'cause at least you still get the Fant in there.
What the fuck
A
is
Q-Fant. That's the pre-evolved form of Caparaja, correct?
Okay, gotcha.
And then there's also, of course, a Fanfy.
Fanfy, yeah,
which is
Fanfy.
Another.
But that doesn't sound like elephant.
Well, it has a elephant, Fanfy. I don't know. It's close. Okay, so that does it for the Hoenn region. The last one was a little bit interesting. Maybe one day we'll figure out what an Indian elephant is, but not today.
I think Birch was sniffing some shroomish on that one.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go on to the Sinnoh region. It turns aggressive if it has too much electricity in its body. It discharges power through its tail. We already knew all this. It can loose 100,000 volt bursts of electricity, instantly downing foes several times its size. So I guess much like an Indian elephant.
Or what Steelix.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, or I don't know, Wailord probably.
Oh yeah, easily.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Wailord, yeah. Electric's good against water, man. Look, I know my type advantages. This is why you need to sign me off as a trainer. Let's go.
Stop hitting your desk. You're going to break it, all right?
Sorry.
If you break it, you don't get a new one. That's the one you have to stay with the whole time.
Shit. All right, sorry.
That's right.
I
I learned that the hard way the third time I took this class.
Yeah, that's why Mr. Curtis doesn't have a desk.
What?
He only has a stool that's at the back. That's in the corner of the classroom.
What did you do with the other desks, Mr. Curtis? Why'd you break them?
Oh, I mean, there's more in here, but I broke the one that I was using.
Why?
And I just got really excited one day for class,
As he does.
and I was tapping my pen really like hard and rapidly on my desk, and it just kind of split in half.
Wow. It sounds like the school needs better desks. These are shit.
I mean, I was able to like hold the pieces together with some pretty heavy duty tape for a while, but then they started to deteriorate. So
Why don't you just use spinner rack webbing? That seemed like it would be your go-to to hold it together.
I mean, I would, but it would involve me bringing the regular spinner racks to renew the web to campus.
And then you have to milk them, and it's just nightmare.
The principal was not happy with my use of spinner racks around campus. That's why I tend not to bring them to class anymore.
Right.
You and the principal are really at odds. Like, I never see you two together, and you're not arguing. Like, it's just you're always at each other's throats.
Yeah, you guys are similar in a lot of ways, I think.
Yeah, I really see a lot of him and you, and I don't know, why there's so much conflict between you guys.
I just listen. You can't argue with people that have no vision. Okay.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So wait, are you the one who has no vision, or is it the principal?
No, he has no vision.
Oh, okay.
He's
we all know that the principal is blind, Mr. Curtis, and I think it's rude for you to, insult him because of that.
Jesus.
I mean, he's also just very stupidly obsessed with poison type Pokemon, and I've tried to tell him that like, while there are a lot of overlap between bug types and poison types, bug types is obviously the more superior type. Okay.
Hey, what were we talking about again? Raichu?
Oh fuck, shit! We're talking about Raichu. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
All right. So we finished with the Sinnoh region. Now there's no entries from the Unova region or the Kalos region. So we're gonna jump on over to the Alola region. Wait, yeah, that sounds right. Okay. So, this first one here says, it becomes aggressive when it has electricity stored up. At such time, even its trainer has to take care to avoid being attacked.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely don't let your Raichu get to the point where it's aggressive and has too much energy.
Oh boy.
Next one here says, as electricity builds up inside its body, it becomes more aggressive. One theory is that the electricity buildup is actually causing it stress.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, technically, I guess. The last one here says, because so many trainers like the way Pikachu looks, you don't see this Pokemon very often.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
Wait,
people are just like,
People don't want to evolve it because they like the way Pikachu looks?
That's right.
yeah,
Like
I
we
guess
talked
so.
about last time, Pikachu
That's kind of
seems
mean,
to be
dude.
kind
Like,
of
I think Raichu's
How's
a
that
pretty
mean?
cool-looking Pokemon.
I guess, but I mean, like, Pikachu's a lot cuter, let's be honest.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I've always liked Raichu's look. I always thought he looked cool.
Well, and listen, Pikachu is one of those rare Pokemon that require a special item to evolve. In this case, it's a Thunderstone.
Right.
So honestly, it's really up to the Pikachu if it wants to evolve or not, right? You can't force it to, because like evolving is a very major change. We've seen before that when Pokemon evolve, they're like a completely new thing. I mean, they're the same like Pokemon they were before, but like they have a completely new attitude and a new, temperament. So I can understand why a Pikachu might not want to let itself evolve.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I mean, it does become like way stronger.
Yeah, but with that, it becomes super, super aggressive. But I don't know that they know that. I don't think a
Yeah.
Pikachu's sitting there like, well, I don't want to become too hostile. Like, I don't think they know that,
Yeah, Pikachus actually have that very posh Galar accent, so...
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
Yeah, also they lose their fingers when they evolve into a Raichu.
Is there any entries about that? Nothing?
No, nothing about the fingers, actually.
Damn it!
There's only 2 more regional Pokedex entries here for the common Raichu, so let's go ahead and read those. They come from the Galar region.
Yeah.
It says, its long tail serves as a ground to protect itself from its own high voltage power, which I guess is a repeat of one that we read earlier. But the next one here says, If its electric pouches run empty, it raises its tail to gather electricity from the atmosphere. Okay, those are both repeats. Fucking damn it, Geller. Get it together. Alright, so now I'm going to read the unique Pokedex entries for Raichu.
Okay.
The first one here comes from Ash. It says, Raichu, a mouse Pokemon of the electric element. What a weird way to say it's the electric type, but okay. Raichu is the evolved form of Pikachu. It can shock with more than 100,000 volts, enough to render a Dragonite unconscious.
Ooh.
Wait.
I don't think that's true. I'll be
say that
honest.
again? It could do what?
It can shock with more than 100,000 volts, that much we know. Enough to render a Dragonite unconscious.
I know they said that these things were powerful and could pretty much one-hit, like, a lot of Pokemon, but I find it hard to believe.
An Indian elephant, actually.
Okay,
knock out.
maybe an Indian elephant, but last I checked, an Indian elephant does not have the power level of a pseudo-legendary Pokemon. Like, that's... Come on. Like, that's...
Yeah, I mean,
So
that
you're
just
saying it
shows
would
you how
take
fucking...
more than 100,000 volts to knock out a Dragonite?
I mean, Dragonite is literally one of the most powerful non-legendary Pokemon ever. Like, I don't think a Raichu could just one-hit that. I don't believe that. That doesn't sound right.
All right, well, hey, let's find out. All right, so I have this Dragonite here.
No, let's not. Please, we won't have a classroom.
All right, so the next entry here comes from Dexter. It just says Dexter. It doesn't say Dexter's Pokedex or Dexter's Rotom phone. It just says from Dexter himself. So.
Never last names. They don't like doxing these people, do they?
No, it's nice. So this one says, Raichu, the evolved form of Pikachu. Pikachu and Raichu are both mouse Pokemon of the electric variety. Combined voltage approaching shockingly dangerous levels.
Oh, fuck off with that wording.
Combined voltage, I don't understand what that means. Like, combined with what?
I don't know, other Raichu.
I mean, I would say a Raichu by itself is definitely shockingly dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
This is pretty deadly. I wonder, dude, I'm curious to see, like, what the power level of, like, an Ampharos is compared to, like, a Raichu. Because Ampharos is a lot bigger, right? Like, I don't know, I guess we'll find out, like, 150 weeks from now.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting close to Ampharos.
Nope.
Alright, so this next one comes to us from Serena's Pokedex. Raichu, the mouse Pokemon, and the evolved form of Pikachu. Raichu's tail functions as a ground and releases electricity into the surface, which keeps it from shocking itself.
So wait, its tail acts as a ground.
Yes.
And releases energy onto the surface of what?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Raichu's tail functions as a ground and releases electricity into the surface of the Earth? I don't know.
What? This is so poorly written.
Yeah. As a ground, right?
Yeah.
So don't grounds have to be in the ground?
Again, I'm not a physicist. I'm not going to pretend to know the nature of electricity. All I know is what the Pokedex entries tell me. All right. There is one more Pokedex entry for the common variant of Raichu, but we have an Alolan variant that we need to talk about as well. So this last one here, yeah, I know, please, calm down. Everybody sit back down. Everybody sit back down. It's fine. It's just an Alolan variant.
Oh, God! Fuck, I can't wait!
I don't understand these variants and what they happen. I really feel like I could use some more.
They look so fucking cool.
Use some more guidance when it comes to regional variants.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm not an expert on regional variants. Of course, what I'm an expert on is every single Pokemon and knowing various information about them.
Well, shit, let's get one in here. Let's get somebody in here that knows about regional variants, okay?
I mean, I do have a colleague. We went to the same university. He knows a lot more about regional variants than I do, but...
Well, where is he? Call him in.
Listen, I will have order in my classroom. We're learning about Raichu, and listen, we're not going to call this guy, alright? The last entry here for Raichu says, Raichu, the mouse Pokemon, an electric type, and the evolved form of Pikachu. As Raichu's body fills with electricity, its demeanor becomes more aggressive. Okay. enough about fucking regular vanilla boring Raichu.
Boo.
Boo, you suck.
I actually do like vanilla Raichu. It's pretty cool.
Well, wait until you hear about the Alolan Raichu. Alright, so this comes to us, of course, from the Alola region. There's also some entries from the Galar region, which I will read after this. It says, it only evolves into this form in the Alola region. According to researchers, its diet is one of the causes of this change.
Huh.
Okay.
So yeah.
I wonder.
Babies.
I wonder
Human
what they could
babies. No.
Oh.
Wow. No,
Okay.
it's not. It tells us what it
Raichu's
eats.
of Alola region eats human babies.
No, don't stop writing that down, Mr. Curtis. It's not true.
And okay, got it right here. Gotcha.
You're welcome, Mr. Curtis. Here, I'm a wealth of knowledge.
Okay. So the next one says it uses psychokinesis to control electricity.
Ooh.
It hops aboard its own tail using psychic power to lift the tail and move about while riding it.
That's sick.
Yeah. So it's like a surfer is what it looks like.
Okay.
All right. The next one here says it focuses psychic energy into its tail and rides like it's surfing. Another name for this Pokemon is Hodad.
What? What?
Okay.
Why?
Another name for this Pokemon is Hodad. Hodad. I don't know.
I was just about to ask how you spelled that.
Listen, I'm not from the Alola region. I don't know what that means. I don't know why they
I
call
feel
it
like
that.
somebody got drunk and they're like, what Pokemon is that? Someone was like, hey, that's Hodad. And they're like, no, that's Raichu. Oh, no, man, we call it Hodad here. Like, I feel like that's probably how that went down.
Or it shocked somebody and they were like, oh, Dad, Jesus.
Hodad, this thing's crazy.
Hodad.
Look at him.
Okay.
Surfing right away.
Guys, if you thought that one was wild, hold on to your seats because this one gets even crazier.
Hold on to your cheek sacks.
Hold on to your cheek sacks and get ready for a cheek kiss because this one says, when you rub its cheeks, a sweet fragrance comes wafting out.
Oh.
What?
However, you'll also get a light shock.
Okay. That's more
So
like it.
I'm gonna assume it's the cheeks on its face.
It doesn't say that, but yes, I would assume so.
You know, I have heard rumors
Have you
that
seen fragrance?
Mr. Curtis, if you also rub his cheeks, there are fragrances that will come out, but they don't smell good.
All right, stop being mean to
Hey.
Mr. Curtis.
I'm just teasing.
My chubby cheeks are a gift to God.
I'm not rubbing. What the fuck was that?
No, God,
Stop!
stop, please.
Don't like that.
Arceus gave me these cheeks for a reason.
All right, well, just I don't want to see the other cheeks. Just keep your pants on.
That
Okay?
was the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I didn't.
And
like
I've
that
heard
at all.
the last cries of a Squirtle as it's drowning.
Jeez, I wonder how you heard that.
We know it was you. We're coming for you.
Yeah, we're gonna find out what happened.
Okay. Last one here from the Alolan region says, it loves pancakes prepared with a secret Alolan recipe. Some wonder whether that recipe holds the key to this Pokemon's evolution.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, fucking breaking news, everybody. It's the pancakes.
Breaking news, everyone. Bisquick made Alolan Raichu variant.
Well, it's the Alolan secret recipe that's doing it, so
Well,
who
that's
knows? I guess, hey, it
Right.
might be babies. Who knows?
Ground up human babies.
Ground up human babies. Okay. Now let's move on to the Galar region for the Alolan variant Pokedex entries. It says here, it is believed that the weather, climate, and food of the Alola region all play a part in causing Pikachu to evolve into this form of Raichu.
So not just the pancakes. Gotcha.
So not just the pancakes,
All right, sure.
according to
It's
the
the pancake,
folks over at
Not
Galar.
the
just human
syrup,
baby pancakes.
the breeze.
Yeah, the smell of the pancakes on the warm breeze of
the
the
feel
Alola
of the
region.
pancakes going down your gullet. It's all of it.
Yeah. Okay, the last one here says, this Pokemon rides on its tail while it uses its psychic powers to levitate. It attacks with star-shaped thunderbolts.
Ooh.
Star-shaped
I know.
thunderbolts.
this Pokemon's kind of extra, huh?
That's crazy.
How does it even sculpt electricity into star shape?
With its psychokinesis. We talked about this before.
Yeah, pay attention, Mr. Curtis, please.
Oh, okay. Very true.
Okay.
I apologize.
One last unique Pokedex entry here that comes from the Rotom Pokedex. Whose it is, I don't fucking know. It says Raichu, Alola form. The Mouse Pokemon, an electric and psychic type. Raichu manipulates electricity with its mind, and its psychic powers allow it to use its tail as transportation.
That's badass. I wish I could do that.
Okay.
You don't even have a tail.
I don't, but I can can move that ass around though. You know what I mean?
Please don't demonstrate.
I won't. This is not the right setting for that.
Okay, so I of course here have a unsourced, uncredited article. Let's read it very quickly, so we can move on to the pop quiz.
Whoop.
All right.
And where did you find this one, Professor?
None of your fucking business, Mr. Curtis.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Told you didn't like you.
Okay. Raichu is covered in dark orange fur with a white belly. Its bifurcated ears are brown on the outside and yellow on the insides and end in a distinctive curl. There's a circular yellow marking on each cheek where its electric sacs are, and it has a triangular dark brown nose. Its arms and feet have patches of brown fur at the end, and the soles of its long feet are tan with a circular orange pad in the center. On its back are two horizontal brown stripes. Its long, thin tail has a lightning bolt-shaped end. This lightning bolt is chipped on the females.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
So you might have noticed that in the Raichu that we brought out. Yes. Raichu exudes a weak electrical charge from all its body and glows slightly in the dark. Okay, it goes on to say, Raichu's tail is used to gather electricity from the atmosphere, or it can be planted into the ground to search for electricity. It also protects Raichu from its own voltage power. Its tail, that is. Raichu can store 100,000 volts of electricity. If Raichu's sacs are fully charged, its ears will stand straight up and its muscles become stimulated. However, it will become aggressive if it has stored too much electricity and stress. To keep from reaching this state, it discharges its electricity through its tail into the ground. This leads to scorched patches near its nest.
Okay.
Being the result of evolution via evolution stone, Raichu is rarely found in the wild, though they can be found in forest and woodlands. The main reason Raichu is rarely seen in the wild is because people prefer the look it had as Pikachu. That doesn't make any fucking sense, what this thing just said there, because why would people's perception make any difference to whether or not a wild Pikachu would evolve into a Raichu?
Oh yeah, I don't know why they worded it that way.
No, I like the first thing you said, right? Because the evolution stone is needed, and there's not very many of those, so you don't see them in the wild because of that.
That makes sense, but like the fact that people prefer the look of Pikachu, that makes no sense. Alright, so then it goes on to talk about the Alolan Raichu. I'll read that very quickly. In Alola, Raichu has lighter coloring and more rounded features. Its eyes are blue with yellow half circles along the bottom. It has large yellow ears with an inner spiral toward the base and brown on the inside. These ears are thicker and less pointed than a standard Raichu's ear. In addition to its white belly, Alolan Raichu has white markings on its paws, with bright yellow lines between its digits. It doesn't have digits. Oh, on its feet.
Yeah,
the digits on its feet.
Yeah, don't be ridiculous. It doesn't have
okay.
any fucking fingers.
It doesn't have any fingers.
Don't be silly.
The stripes on its back have also turned white, and there's a small white circular marking on each heel. The lightning bolt-shaped tip of its tail has rounded edges, and by collecting its psychic power in its tail, it is able to ride it like a surfboard and float in the air. While its cheek sacs are still used to store electricity...
What a hodad.
Yeah, like a hodad.
like the hodad it is.
Like the hodad do.
Who just fucking no one makes up random names for other variants. It's so random.
It is Wandom.
Sorry, my lisp came out. I spent the first 9 years of my life trying to get rid of it. It just came back out. Sorry. It's very random. Shit, there it goes again. Fuck. Sorry.
Okay, while its cheek sacs are still used to store electricity, rubbing them releases a sweet aroma while also getting a light shock. This is also thought to be connected to its psychic abilities.
Sweet.
Whew!
Swag.
Okay. So I think we've learned all there is to know about a Raichu. So I think it's finally time for a pop quiz. Woo!
What? No way.
Yep, a pop quiz. I know. I can't believe it either. So go ahead, pull out your pens and pencils, your Rotom laptops, put away your Pokedexes, put away your
cheat sheets,
Rotom
anything
photo
that could help.
phones. I will say a calculator might actually be pretty useful in this one. So go ahead and pull that out too if you could.
Professor, this is not a
right.
math class, this is biology class. You know I can't do math, okay?
All right. Question number 1. Give me, Professor Jacob, 2 different ways of knowing when a Raichu has too much stored electricity. There's more than 2, but just slap down 2 answers and give them to me. Okay, so Corbin responded by saying 1 if it's glowing in the dark, and 2 if it's very angry and hostile. And Curtis responded with, big chunky boy Raichu becomes extra juicy with electricity. Wait, sorry, let me just read that again. Big chunky boy Raichu becomes extra juicy with electricity. You can tell becomes more aggressive, and its ears will stick straight up. Yes, you are both correct. It is aggressive, it glows in the dark, its ears will stick straight up. Also, it plants its tail in the ground to discharge electricity. That was another thing that you could have said, but your answers were both great.
Swag.
Mr. Curtis, yours was a little bit hard to decipher, but it was still correct in essence.
Careful, Mr. Curtis, you're going to lose points again.
I'm sorry, Professor. I'll have to focus in on doing that a little bit better.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry.
Just keep it
All
simple, stupid. Kiss. Mwah.
Yeah, cheek kiss.
Cheek kiss.
Okay, question number 2. What is another name for the Alolan Raichu? All right. Both of the answers are in. Corbin responded with "Hodad!" all caps, exclamation point at the end. So very, very enthusiastic about this answer. And Mr. Curtis responded with, the Alolan Raichu is also known as Hodad. So
did you spell it correctly?
He spelled every word correctly. There was punctuation at the end.
Wow.
He did forget to capitalize the first letter, but I mean, listen,
I don't know.
I'm not gonna look a
I know
gift
this one.
Mudsdale
This answer
in the
was
mouth.
not like, as creative as I typically write my answers, but I just wanted to get back to my roots,
Yeah.
make sure I was being accurate.
There you go.
The work of art in this one comes from its simplicity, I think.
Of course.
Mr. Curtis.
Thank you.
All right. Question number 3. What happens when you rub the cheeks of an Alolan Raichu? You were both correct, by the way. I don't know if I said that about the Hodad thing.
Hell yeah.
Hodad!
Hodad! Your dad's a hoe! Hodad!
Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Is it like... Maybe it's Hodded?
Maybe it's Hodded or
Or-
Hoda D.
Hoda D.
Hoda D! Or maybe it's Odad!
Or Hod Ad?
Hodad? Guys, this lesson's sponsored by Hodad. Sounds like some stupid company.
Sure does. It sure does sound like a stupid company. Okay. Answers have been received for both of you, so let me go ahead and read them. The question was, of course, what happens when you rub the cheeks of an Alolan Raichu? Corbin responded with, a sweet aroma is released, and then maybe a few sparks as well. And Curtis responded with, when you rub the cheeks of a Hodad, a smelly sweet smell comes wafting out, and you do get a small shock.
That's right.
Yes. So yes, sweet fragrance and a light shock. Both absolutely correct.
Yes.
All right.
Very
Money.
good.
Question number 4. Given that current is equal to velocity divided by resistance, and human skin generally has a resistance of 100,000 ohms when dry and 1,000 ohms when wet, how much current in amps will a human receive if struck by a Raichu at full power in both of these conditions?
What?
Okay. All
So,
right. All
yeah.
right.
Which
those
part
numbers
would you
one more
like
time,
me to
please?
cover again?
The whole thing, buddy.
Okay.
Hold on. I need to pull out a separate sheet of paper. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to gather my thoughts here. All right, can you do that? I didn't sign up for this. No more questions like this after this, okay? Just fucking
ready.
repeat it again.
Okay,
go.
yeah, I'll just listen. The point of these pop quizzes is to test your knowledge, right? I can't if I'm not making questions that challenge you, I'm not doing you any
We
kind
didn't
of
review
service here
this,
as a
Professor. We didn't.
Yes, we did. Listen. I've given you all the tools that you need. I'm gonna read it one more time.
All right, let's make it snappy.
Thank you.
Okay. Given that current is equal to voltage divided by resistance,
Okay.
right? And human skin generally has a resistance of 100,000 ohms when it's dry and 1,000 ohms when wet. How much
Wait, human skin is what? 100,000 what?
ohms?
100,000
just-
ohms when wet?
No, 100,000 ohms when dry and 1,000 ohms when wet.
1,000 when wet. Okay.
Yes, 1,000 when wet, 100,000 when dry.
Okay.
How much current in amps will a human receive if struck by a Raichu at full power in both these conditions? So the conditions being dry and wet.
Oh, so it's a two-part answer. So the current
Yes.
in amps will a human receive if struck by a Raichu?
Exactly, because when we're talking about damage, like damage that electricity can do, we all often talk in times about voltage, right? But it's not really the voltage here that is being painful, right? That's not what we feel. What we really feel is current, and current is a product of voltage
Divided by resistance.
divided by resistance. So you need both of those things to get a current. So saying,
Okay.
oh, this has a super high voltage, it doesn't really necessarily mean that it's going to do a lot of damage to you. It's all about the resistance.
So the answers are about dry current and wet current.
yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Are we assuming here that the voltage is on the higher end?
It's at full power.
Okay.
So
That's what
the
I wanted
highest
to know.
that we talked about.
Okay. I got this.
Yes,
this.
let's see.
Okay. Did my math.
I love the play-by-play that we're getting.
This must be what it's like to be Corbin. Normally, he's done so much quicker than me, but this time.
I'll know if it's right or not if Professor Jacob just starts bursting out laughing. All right, I submitted my answer.
Okay. All right. So I have the answers here from Mr. Curtis and Corbin. All right. Let's read them. So, Corbin wrote, the current on dry skin is equal to 1 amps, which is weird that he put plural for 1, but that's fine. And for wet skin, he wrote 100 amps. Mr. Curtis answered very similarly.
Yes.
1 amp dry and 100 amps wet. Yes.
Yes!
You guys, according to the calculations and formulas that I gave you, that is 100% correct. So I kind of want to talk on that a little bit about how dangerous a Raichu really is. When it comes to current, we humans will start to feel like a little bit of current, like a little bit of an electric shock at 1 milliamp, which is equal to 0.001 amp of electricity. Now, we'll start to feel a painful shock at 10 milliamps, which is 0.01 amp, and at about 200 milliamps, or, of course, 0.2 amps, this is all that's required to actually cause death.
Wait, 0.02 amps is enough to cause death?
Yes.
0.2.
Wow.
0.2 amps is enough to cause death.
0.2.
So if you're
amps.
completely
0.2.
dry, a Raichu has enough power to shock you 5 times that amount to die.
Yes. If you get shocked by a Raichu at full power, it will kill you.
Oh, lovely.
And then that is like multiplied by 100 times when your skin is wet.
Right.
So
you'll pretty much just explode.
So it will melt your skin completely off. Do not fuck with a Raichu, like, at all.
Okay, I
like,
will not fuck a Raichu. You got it. Not in the rain.
Which is why I have made the decision not to give you this Raichu, Corbin.
Okay, you know what?
You did very well on the
fair.
quiz.
That's fair.
It's just too much power for your little body to handle.
I know.
Too much of a too much of a chance of liability suits.
Mr. Curtis said something to me similarly the other day. He said, quote, "I have too much power for your little body to handle too." Didn't really understand what that meant, though.
Mr. Curtis, explain.
My raw personal energy is just too much for Corbin to handle.
Gotcha. I don't know if it meant the cheek kisses.
No, those are special, and those are between
Right.
us.
Yeah, and that's 0.001% of his power, so
Yeah.
don't worry. You have nothing to worry about. All right, so that does it for today's lesson. Can either of you guys tell me what Pokemon we're talking about next time?
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you a hint. It's also known as the Mouse Pokemon.
No way. Is
So
it
that will
really?
be the third Mouse Pokemon in a row.
Pichu.
No, it's not related to Pikachu at all.
Bidoof.
Thank God, no. We're not talking about Bidoof. In fact, I might never talk about
Just
Bidoof,
skip that
honestly. It's a waste of space.
Plusle and Minel?
Okay, you know what? We're done here.
Obviously, Dedenne.
No, it's not any of those. We're learning about Sandshrew, which is also, of course, known as the Mouse Pokemon.
Yo! Sandshrews actually one of my favorite Pokemon ever. Like, no joke.
Oh, really? And you forgot that it comes next. That's weird.
I kind of did. I'm sorry. Sandshrew.
Sandshrew.
Sandshrew. My lisp, sorry.
All right. So thank you all for attending this lesson.
You're welcome.
Of course, if you have any questions for me, you can contact me by sending me a Gmail, which is, of course, Gengar Mail, to wwopokemon@gmail.com. If you don't have a Gmail account, you can, of course, find me at wwopokemon on Twitter, the bird Pokemon-themed website. But yeah, that does it for today's lesson. Until next time, class is dismissed.